Thursday afternoon, one campaign brief left in the week, and Maya reaches for the prompt that worked beautifully on Monday. Same chat, same prompt, and what comes back this time is mush, vague and generic, drifting off the brand voice. Dan needs the brief within the hour, and her cursor is already sliding toward the regenerate button. Freeze on that slide because this moment is the seventh domain of the exam, troubleshooting and optimization, about one question in 10. By the end of this episode, you will have a calm diagnosis loop for it, and you will see why regenerate was never going to save her. Because here is the strange part, nothing about the prompt changed between Monday and Thursday. Something else in this picture broke, and finding it is the skill this domain actually tests. Let's autopsy the instincts first, because the exam builds its wrong answers out of exactly these moves. Instinct 1, hit, regenerate and hope. A regenerate changes nothing about what the model knows, so you are rolling the same dice again and calling it debugging. Instinct 2, decide the model is the problem, switch to a different one, resend. The most common root cause of a bad output is missing or muddled context, and no model can supply context it was never given. Instinct 3, stay in the chat and pile on more instructions in capital letters if it comes to that. Anthropic's own first aid runs the opposite direction. When output confuses you, simplify the ask, do not amplify it. In episode 1 language, this whole domain is verify and match under deadline pressure. First establish what is actually failing, then fit the fix to the fault. Here is the loop the exam wants instead, 4 steps, straight from Anthropic's own troubleshooting guide. Step 1. Restate your ask simply and clearly, because a surprising amount of mush starts life as an unclear question. Step 2. Add context as if you were briefing someone with no background knowledge at all, the new contractor from our prompting episode. Step 3. If the task is complex, break it into sub-steps and run them one at a time. Step 4. Give feedback on what came back and ask for a rewrite, naming what to keep and what to change. Next to the ladder, keep the triage card, because symptoms point at their own fixes. And the first row is the big one. Generic output means missing specificity, so add detail and an example of what good looks like. Off topic means the goal was unclear. Wrong format means you never showed the format, and a wobbly complex answer means the task needed splitting. Maya runs the ladder on her mushy brief, and steps 1 and 2 check out. Her ask is clear and all her context was loaded back on Monday, which is the interesting result because when the ladder clears the prompt, the fault has to leave somewhere else. Before she chases it, one line in the mush worries her more, a tidy engagement statistic she cannot remember ever measuring. This is the moment to know where wrong answers come from. Models sometimes produce fluent claims that are grounded in nothing, delivered in the same confident voice as their true ones. Training data also lacks the present, so the freshest facts are exactly where unsighted memory is weakest. Confident tone is not evidence. We stamped that rule in episode 1 and it has not aged a day. The grounding fixes are mechanical. Tell Claude it is allowed to say it does not have enough information, and for document work ask for the exact quote behind each claim, withdrawing anything it cannot support. And the quiet habit underneath, when an answer will carry real weight, open the source yourself because you are the accountable one, not the model. Maya tries one clean experiment. She runs the same important ask a second time and lays the two answers side by side. They disagree, and that disagreement is not noise. Official guidance reads inconsistency across runs as a possible hallucination flag. Matching answers do not prove truth, but conflicting answers prove you must verify before you use either one. Her next move is to ask Claude to explain its reasoning step by step before the final answer, because the walkthrough exposes the faulty assumption you actually need to fix. And the reasoning hands her the real clue. The model is still honoring campaign constraints she cancelled on Tuesday. Hold that thought, because this exact skill is an exam question, so let's play it at full speed. An analyst asks Claude the same question about an uploaded dataset twice and gets two different top-line conclusions. How should she read that? Option A says the second answer supersedes the first because Claude improves within a session and no such rule exists, nothing about the second run verified anything struck. Option B says pick the conclusion that better matches her expectation, which is confirmation bias wearing a badge struck. Option D says the dataset must be corrupted, so re-upload and retry, but identical input producing different conclusions points at generation, not at the file struck. That leaves C. Treat the inconsistency as a possible hallucination signal and require quote grounded justification from the dataset before using either answer. That is a verify stamp, and notice how the 3 wrong answers rhymed with the 3 instincts we buried at the top. Now the Thursday mystery finally solves because there were always 3 components in this picture: the prompt, the model, and the conversation itself. Monday's chat was clean. Thursday's chat is dragging 4 days of drafts, corrections, reversals, and dead constraints, and every one of them is still context. The prompt did not break, and the model did not break. The chat went stale, and stale context mushes everything it touches. You know, a chat has gone stale when cancelled rules keep resurfacing, or when an ask that used to work starts drifting. The fix is deliberately unsentimental. Start a fresh conversation and carry forward only the final constraint list and the best draft so far. You are not losing work, you are removing sediment, and the model finally reads a clean brief instead of the transcript of an argument. Maya opened the fresh chat, passes the final constraints with Monday's brief as the example, and the mush is gone on the first try. Friday morning, Maya does the optimization pass, because fixing Thursday once is troubleshooting, and making Thursday impossible is this domain's other half. First, right-size the tool, a quick chat for a quick lookup, a deeper research run when the job is synthesis across many sources, and check the current app for exactly where each mode lives. Second, stop re-explaining context that has become permanent. The brand voice, the glossary, the output template, and the audience notes all move into a project where every new chat inherits them automatically. Third, put each standing instruction at the right level, account-wide preferences in your profile, campaign rules in the project, and only the truly one-off details in the prompt itself. The placement test is simple. If you have typed the same sentence into more than 2 chats, it belongs a level up. Last, group related questions into one message with the complete context up front, fewer round trips and cleaner answers. A stale eternal chat and a repasted glossary are exactly how Monday's magic dies by Thursday, and this pass is how you stop paying that tax every week. So the loop, when output goes bad, walk the 4 steps, read the symptom, and change something specific before you spend another attempt. When runs disagree, treat it as a verify flag, and when a chat goes stale, reset it clean instead of arguing with it. One last question to stamp the domain shut: played fast. A team lead has Claude format the week's meeting transcripts the same way every Friday, repasting her style guide and glossary into a new chat each time. What is the best optimization? Putting the rules in her account-wide profile pushes meeting formatting into every unrelated conversation. Wrong scope struck. Keeping one continuous chat all quarter is the eternal chat trap we just buried struck. Asking Claude to remember the rules for next time is a conversational promise, not a configuration struck. The answer is a project, glossary, and template as knowledge, formatting rules as project instructions, and each Friday she pastes only the transcript, a clean match stamp. And Maya, her brief went out clean with time to spare. And Dan never found out what the regenerate button is for, which is fine. Next episode, the question lab. Scenario after scenario with all 7 domains mixed together until the 4 moves stop being notes and start being reflexes.